Shalom Israel. This is Akazon Yasharala coming at you again with another lesson. Before I begin, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the great Creator, all right, the God of Israel, the true living God, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. All praises, honor, and glory due. So today we're going to be coming out of the book of Daniel, chapter 7 to be exact, and I'm going to go and we're going to do an in-depth breakdown of the four beasts in Daniel's vision. Now, these four beasts represents the four kingdoms, that are going to exist in our modern time during the second coming of Yahweh Shah. So this is a very important breakdown, to be able to identify the key players that is going to fulfill this prophecy. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it and start from Daniel chapter 7, verse 1, and we're going to stop at 2. All right, so it says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote in dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. Okay, so at this time, Daniel had a disturbing dream and he wrote it down and he told what he saw. Now, the first thing that Daniel saw were four winds striving on a great sea. Okay, now these four winds that Daniel was seeing is actually in correspondence to the four horsemen of Revelation chapter 6. Okay, let's bring that out. All right, so this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 2. It says, and I saw, behold, a white horse. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red. All right, so now you have the white horse, all right, and now you have the red horse. So you have two horses so far. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 5. I'm going to read at the bottom. And it says, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse. All right, so you have the white horse, the red horse, now you have the black horse. All right, last but not least, this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 8. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Okay, so you have the white horse, you have the red horse, you have the black horse, and last but not least, you have the pale horse. These are the four horsemen, okay, in Revelation chapter 6. But in that's correspondence to the four winds, okay, that Daniel was seeing in his vision. All right. Now, I want to touch back on the first horse in verse 2, okay, because the first horse, the white horse in Revelation chapter 6 and 2, is speaking about the false Messiah. Okay, now how do I know that? Because he's on a white horse. Okay, the same way that it mentions Yahweh Shah coming on a white horse in Revelations chapter 19. Let's read it. It says, just as Revelation chapter 19 and 11, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. All right, so this is talking about Yahweh Shah, but in Revelation chapter 6 and 2, where it says, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So both was coming on a white horse, okay, but the difference is, you see how the Yahweh Shah, all right, is on a white horse. He's called faithful and true, and he's coming to bring righteousness and make war, okay, against the wicked, all right. But when you read Revelation chapter 6 and 2, which is the false Messiah, or who the world ignorantly calls the Antichrist, all right, you just use that word for those, for those of you who are familiar with that. But you notice that he's on a horse, but he's coming to conquer, okay? He's coming to conquer. He's coming to make war against the saints, all right? So basically he's imitating Yahweh Shah, okay? He's imitating Yahweh Shah. Now, when he comes, he's going to lead man into an organized rebellion against the Most High, All right. This is similar to how Nimrod, all right, when he led man into an organized rebellion to fight against the Most High by what? Orchestrating them to build the Tower of Babel. Okay. And you can read about that in the book of Joshua, chapter 9. All right. So this is how the false Messiah is going to come as well. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now let's go back. Actually, let's read right here. Let's start right here. All right. Now we're going to read verse 2 again, because it gives us further details of the identity of who's riding, this white horse, and that's very important to identify who this false Messiah, okay, is going to appear to be in these last days. So we have to identify some of the key things that verse 2 is saying. Okay. Now let's read it again. It says, "And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, all right, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." All right. So two key things. One, he had a bow, okay, which symbolized that he was a hunter. Okay. Again, the same way that Nimrod was described as a mighty hunter, okay, kind of right here. All right, the same way that Nimrod is described as a mighty hunter in Genesis chapter 10, verse 9. Okay. All right. And two, let's go back. Two, he had a crown. Okay. Now, it says a crown was given unto him, which symbolized that he was a prince before he became a king. Okay. That's very important. So, what is it talking about? All right. I'm going to show you, in my humble opinion, who I truly believe the scriptures is referring to. And I'm actually 99% sure that this is who it's talking about. Okay. Let's go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 27, and I'll show you. It says, "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents." Okay. Now, remember these two things: a bow, all right, and a crown. So it says that Esau was a cunning hunter. Okay. The same way as Nimrod. Okay. He was a mighty hunter. All right. Remember, I told you that the bow is a symbol for hunting. Okay. But let's get another precept in case you think it's a stretch. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27. Okay. Going to read verse 1 and stop at 3. It says, "And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I." Verse 2. "And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death." Verse 3. "Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons and thy quiver." All right. This is a quiver right here. All right. This is a quiver, is a holster, that you put your arrows in. All right. So let's pick up where we left off. It says, "I pray thee thy weapons, thy take Salah. I pray thee thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison." So this is Isaac, all right, telling Esau to take his quiver, okay, and his bow, okay, and go out to the field to go hunting, okay, to go hunting, pretty much. All right. So this is showing you that before Esau lived by the sword, okay, pertaining to Genesis chapter 27 and 40, before he lived by the sword, Esau's choice of weapon for hunting was a bow. Okay, was a bow. Now, actually, so this is important. This is important. So we dealt with the bow. Okay, we know that the bow is now tied and connected to Esau. Now let's deal with the crown that was given to the rider on the white horse. All right. So let's go to Revelation chapter 17. We're going to start from verse 10 and stop at 11. It says, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." Verse 11, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition." So it's saying that there were 7 kings, okay, but the beast or the false Messiah, right, is going to be the 8th king that comes from the 7th, right? Now, who do we know right now that fits this description in our modern time? The Saudis, Esau, right? Esau. And right now, you can see on your screen, King Salman is what? The 7th king. That's going to pass over the crown to his son, all right, Mohammed bin Salman, all right, which will be the 8th king. Are you following me? The beast, the false Messiah. That's why it says that the 8th, all right, in verse 11, it says that the 8th is of the 7th, okay, because Muhammad bin Salman is the 8th, okay, king, and he's of the 7th king, all right. He's the son of the 7th king, King Salman. Are you following me? So these are the only ones that align with this prophecy, man. And that like I said, in my humble opinion, that I can see, uh, and Scripture says, "Prove all things," and I've proven all things according to the Scriptures. All right, and to line it up with what's happening right now in our modern time, and these are the only ones that fits this prophecy, uh, very well. So, we dealt with the bow, okay, and we dealt with the crown, and we identified who's the rider, okay, who's going to be the rider on the white horse pertaining to Daniel's vision of the four horsemen. All right. Now these four horsemen, okay, they're gonna when they come, they're gonna bring famine, war, death, you know, on a scale that you've never seen before on earth, man. All right. Now let's go back to Daniel chapter 7, verse 2, and let's read it again. All right. So it says, "Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision and by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea." Okay. So this is what Daniel visioned when he saw the four winds driving upon the great sea. All right. He was seeing the four horsemen. Okay. Now, the great sea that is speaking about represents the great humanity of people that's going to be here on earth at that time, right? And let me get a precept for that. Let's go to Revelations chapter 17, uh, verse 15. It says, "And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." Okay, so now let's go to Daniel chapter 7 and read verse 3. It says, "And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another." Okay, so while the four great winds were striving upon the great sea of humanity, which we know now are the four horsemen, Daniel saw these four great beasts coming up from the sea. All right, now let's jump down to verse. These are the four beasts, right, that Daniel was seeing. But let's go to verse 17. We're going to jump down to verse 17. Now it says, "These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth." Okay, these are four kings. So, um, these four beasts that Daniel was seeing, okay, are four kingdoms that are going to exist at the time of the second coming of Yahweh Shai. All right. So let's go up. Let's go back to, actually, let's go to verse 4. All right. And we're going to identify the first beast. It says the first was like a lion and had eagle wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. All right. So again, we know that from reading verse 17 that these four beasts are modern empires, okay, that's going to exist at this time. All right. So what modern empire that we know today, okay, that is symbolized by a lion? All right. What nation do we know today in our modern time that is symbolized by a lion? Great Britain. Okay. Now, there's been many nations, okay, that utilize the lion as a symbol, right? But we're talking about our modern time. Keep that in mind, all right? And in our modern time, the lion is associated with Great Britain, which is the largest empire in our modern time, okay? And actually, the lion symbol first appeared on the coats of arms when King James VI of Scotland, okay, which was a black man, he ascended to the English throne in 1603. Right? So King James was the first to actually introduce the lion as the Great Britain symbol. All right. So that's just a little further fact that I wanted to throw out there for you. All right. Now, here's further proof of the lion right here on the non-ceremonial flag of the British Army. And you can see the lion symbol on there as well. All right. So now let's go back. Let's go back because it says that the lion had eagle wings. Right. So again, this is speaking of a modern day empire. Okay. So who do we know today that associate themselves with an eagle? Right. That one should be easy. America. All right. America. All right. Because the United States of America was originally a colonial territory of Great Britain, okay, and they were bound together at one point. All right, they were bound together. All right, but what happened? America was plucked up. Okay, let's go back to the scriptures. It says, "And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth." All right, let's go back right here. Okay, so America, again, was a colonial territory of Great Britain, right? They were bound together, but America was plucked up, as it states in the verse that we just read. It was plucked up from the British Empire when the Declaration of Independence was written down and signed by the 13 American colonials in 1776. Okay, all right, and this is what kicked off the American Revolutionary War between Great Britain and America. Okay, this is what kicked off the war, right? And this war ended in 1783. Now, when America defeated the British, that's when Great Britain recognized the U.S. independency. Okay, so this is how America became their own entity. This is how the wings, okay, of the eagle were plucked from the British lion, right? And it made to stand upon his feet like a man. All right, why? Because America didn't have to depend on Great Britain anymore. It became its own powerhouse. All right. So let's go back. Let's read it again. It says, "The first was like a lion and had eagle wings. And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. All right. So America stood on its feet as a man because it wasn't dependent on Great Britain anymore. Right. It became its own entity. Okay. Became its own entity. So over 2,500 years ago, Daniel envisioned the Declaration of Independence of America, man. Think about that. Over 2,500 years ago, Daniel envisioned the Declaration of Independence of America. Okay? So, for all of you scoffers, all right, that make mockery of the word of the word of the Most High, you make mockery of the Bible. Oh, that's not real. That's not real. Oh, I don't believe in that stuff. The white man wrote it. Okay? If this prophecy of this known historical event that we all know happened, that we all can pull up and see happen, if this prophecy came to pass, then what makes you think that the rest of the prophecies won't? Just something to give you to, something to give you to think about, right? If you're scoffing and mocking the men of the Lord and, you know, scoffing at the scriptures and, you know, just something that you should really think about, all right? Now, I'm going to end this one right here, okay? And I'm going to pick up on the next video and we're going to get into the second, third, and the last beast, all right? So I just wanted to roughly start this off uh, to set a foundation for the next video, all right? So we already went over the first beast, the lion with the eagle wings, and on the next video we're going to pick up from there. So Lord willing, you were edified. Before I close out, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Israel, the true living God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. All praises, honor, and glory due. Love you all, Israel. I'll see you on the next video. Shalom.